Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Aisha, and now we're in day 17 of lockdown in the UK because of Covid-19, the coronavirus. Parents and carers across the UK are now having to teach their children at home because schools have been closed now for more than 2 weeks. And it's also a challenging time for parents as well, especially if you're not used to teaching or having your children at home, not being able to take them out in the day. So what I've tried to do is compile resources that I've used and that have worked for me. In my last video, I talked about the books that I used to support learning, particularly in Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, which starts from as young as reception age to year 6. And that's what I will focus on today. So the books that I discussed in my last video talked about Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, which are the primary school years. In this video, I'd like to introduce and share with you the apps my children use and what they like. So these apps are for maths. Therefore, we have used English in the past when they were learning how to read, and I can share that with you as well. And also for science, I use a mixture of an app as well as a website. And particularly for Quran and for learning the Arabic language as well, I also have an app. And these apps can be used together with the written books that you may want your children to do, or you could just do the apps with the children and online learning, because it is a very challenging time for parents and carers. So don't pressure yourself to try and fit everything in, but maybe just having small snippets of some type of learning that works for you and your family may help. And then as the days go by, maybe you can progress on something else. And this is a way for your children to learn and really be happy and engaged in their learning. That's what I love about these apps. These apps my children have used for years. They like them. And for example, one of my 9-year-old, she didn't like maths at one point, but through this particular app that I'm going to go through today, she actually progressed and became more confident in maths. So let's begin. So I've got my iPad here, and I hope that it's you can see it. So I've got here in one of the apps, and I'll go through them now. So we're going to go to perhaps one of the favorites, which is learning times tables for maths, and this can be at any age. So if I just show you what I've just done there. So we're going to press on this one. It's called Squeebles TT. You can download it, and then that's how it comes on. That's my click on my daughter's name there, and then you can choose what you're going to do here. So say for example we're going to do times tables, and say we want to look at the 3 times table. It's got all the times tables there. This is like a fun game, and you just go through answering the questions. So say for example, if we can do this together, if I just try, and it's really tricky trying to do this. So if I just quickly 1 times 3, it gives you a little sound. And then next question, 2 times 3. Next question, 3 times 3. And 4 times 3. And it keeps going like this. And you just continue and answer the question. Try and get through this one quickly. And let's see what it does when I get to the end of this. And so it'll say something, this isn't fair, you're too good at this. Play again. Maybe do another table, and you can go on. So the children do like this because it's like a game for them. Okay, exit that game. Yes, exit. And then you can mix it up as well. So you can mix up different games like this. You can mix up different timetables as well. And then once you finish your questions, there's a little game that you can play. So I'm not going to do that now. But just to give you an idea there. The next one for maths, and this is one of my favorites. This is the app that my 9-year-old used where she refused to do any maths because she felt that she wasn't really good at it and she found it really challenging. So it's called Doodlemaths. It's this one here, Doodlemaths. They also do Doodle tables, which are times tables. They do Doodle English and Doodle Spelling as well. The one that my children use is Doodlemaths. And again, I can leave my children on this app. They can play on it for 20 minutes. They actually do think it's a bit of a game. So you click on sign into that, tap that, and then this is how the front screen is. This is actually recommended by a good friend of mine, and it really helped my 9-year-old and my 11-year-old really improve on their maths. So 7 a day. These are practice questions to reinforce what they've previously learned. They have to get through these 7 a day, like a little rocket ship there. Let's go. And it says questions like this. Numbers in the 8 times table always end in 2, 4, 6, and 8 or 0, true or false. And then you get a little star. And what happens is you're actually collecting stars here. Here, you're actually collecting stars. Here it'll say link the equivalent amounts. I can show you that. So you'll have to link the equivalent amounts really quickly. So they're looking at money. So £1.10 is the same as 110 pence. £1 is the same as 100 pence. £1 1 pence is the same as 101p, and £1.11 is the same as 111. Oh, I was supposed to show you that before it went, but I got some more stars there. What fraction is the same as 2/4? So I'll give you there you go, that's the next question. It's a mixture of questions. Now my daughter is in year 4, but so the questions are appropriate to her level. Sometimes I give my daughter, my 9-year-old, a piece of paper and a pen, and I'll say to work them out. So here's a question on addition. Here, 85 add 19. So I'd get her to work it out, and then she'd write it, and then she gets stars. And then with these stars, what you can do is you can help build a robot. And it sounds very simple, and seems almost like it's not really a big part of the app, but actually for children, the fact that they can collect their stars, and these stars they can use to buy items for their robot that they're trying to build is so motivating for them. So I found that they would quickly try and work through the questions, knowing that they had to get every one of them right, and then obviously there's more chances to try questions that you've got wrong. Collected the stars, and then they could help build this robot. So that really encouraged them, and they're really keen to show me how they've progressed in buying different things for this robot that they were trying to build. So they're the 2 maths ones, the Squeebles TT and the Doodlemaths, and I will put the links below in the information on the video. Then moving on to another maths game, which is called Dragonbox. If I just bring the camera here, it's is this one here, Dragonbox, there. And if I click on it, it's like a huge mountainous type of construct, almost like a tree. And you have different levels. All these levels have actually been completed. So if I just scroll down, this is how big this building is. Just goes on for a long time to the top here. So the user has to work through all these levels, and this maths game focuses on geometry, shapes, which I found amazing because it's one of the most difficult subjects to teach, where you're trying to create interest, but what better way than teaching it through a game. So if we go to the first level, I'll show you. It starts off like this, and it's very self-explanatory. It shows you what you need to do, creating a triangle, and then it says your turn. So I'm going to create my triangle. It says well done for creating the triangle. I'll create the other 3 triangles, and then these little creatures pop out, really happy, and it says move on to the next level. Off we go to the next level. Again, you've got those little creatures, and it's telling you what to do. There's 2 triangles there. Create another triangle, and it tells me to go to the next level. So it starts off really small with triangles, and then it progresses to more complicated shapes. There you go. So we've got a triangle and we have a circle. And I think this works for a mixture of age groups, because even though it's starting off with triangles, it progresses steadily onto other shapes. So then you have different type of triangles. You have isosceles triangles, equilateral triangles, and just to get the children used to these terms and making them as well is fascinating. So that one. Then if I come out of here and go back to this tower and go on to a different level, here's the tower. So they are over, this tower has, so each level has about 30, each part of this tower has about 30 levels. So all in all, it's probably over 100 different levels. So it will keep your children very busy. So if I go to level 10, so this is the first part of the tower, and there's about 25 levels. So we've just gone to the 10th one there. You see the different points there, and I'm going to try and make quadrilateral shapes, and it'll say quadrilateral. Let's see if I can make that, another shape there, another triangle, another triangle, and then all those creatures jump out after I've made those shapes. Moving on to the next level. There you go. Just have a look at all those different points here. What shapes can your child make from this? There's quite a few here. So we've got a mixture of triangle and quadrilateral there. Try and do it fast enough so you can see it, and so on. So it's a really fun game, that, and as you progress you get powers to do different things with those creatures at the bottom. So this really helped my children to become more familiar with geometry and shapes. Moving on then, after Dragonbox, there's also a website I use called Mystery Science, and I don't have it as an app here because I have to go onto the computer and show you via that, and I didn't have the ability to do that. So, but I'll put the link for Mystery Science. Now, Mystery Science, again, there's a mixture of videos as well as experiments. There's worksheets that you can print off as well to get your child to do experiments. You could do them together. Can be quite fun as well, and very interestingly put together. So maybe you could do that once a week. Just incorporate, like today would be a Mystery Science day. And get through what you and your child chooses. It's also for primary age as well, so that's what is quite appealing about that. The other app that I use is for Arabic now. Actually, before we move on to Arabic, the English app that I used was called it's a Jolly Phonics app, and they use that for phonics. That was when they were starting to read and form sounds. So that link I can put at the bottom as well. I haven't got it on the app at the moment, and that's really good for reception, or even earlier than reception, to about year 2, year 3 even. If children need more support with their reading and their spelling or letter formation, sounds formation. So moving on to Arabic then. I have, we'll start with Quran. I have this app here called, it's called Memrise. What I love about this app is when you go in, you can choose the people that are going to use it. So maybe mom, dad, and then your child. So if I go into one of them here, you can download each juz at a time, and you can choose which qari, which reciter you're going to have. And then for each surah, there's a tick to show for each verse that you've memorized it. So for example, if I play it, so that is just an example of the qari. So we chose Al-Afasi because we love his recitation, but there's a choice of different qur'at that you can choose. And then what I would suggest, and this is something that's worked for me, is to get your child, no matter how old they are, I would encourage even children as young as 1 or 2, the moment that they can understand and recite, speak, even if it's not very coherent, if they can speak, encourage just one ayah and get them to say it again and again. You might play this 3 times and then get them to read it. Even if your recitation isn't good, even if you haven't really brushed up your tajweed yet, the qari, the reciter, is doing it for you. So you get them to read that a few times, and then you pause it, and you can move on an ayah at a time, the pace of your child. So that really worked for me. So this is my 9-year-old, and this is what she's completed from Juz Amma. The green ones are all completed. Even if it's one ayah that your child is learning, it makes a difference, because by the end of the days and the weeks, she's actually learned quite a lot. So that's the Arabic language for Quran. There is another app that I really like. It's called Memrise. I'll show you what it looks like as an app. There, that's what it looks like. There. And then if I tap onto it, now Memrise is an app, a language learning app, so you can learn any language. It's not just Arabic. I've chosen Arabic. So just to give you an idea of what it does. So you click on. So these are all the courses it offers. Quite a few languages there. I'll choose Arabic. And it says browse more courses. So these are the courses it offers. It has about 6 different courses. So if your child doesn't, or if you yourself may want to learn this as well. So Arabic 1 would be to do with sounds. Let's go on to something like Arabic 3. And it has different topics. Oops, can you see that? Different topics on the body, occupation, in disguise, emergencies. Oh, this one on contamination. I'm sure that would be interesting. So let's go to the body. Just to show you what it looks like, and we press, here's all the different words that you will learn new words. Let's see. Now this app you do need to pay for, as with the other apps, the Doodlemaths, the Squeebles, the Mystery Science and the Dragonbox. So they let's see if I can get this one going. Okay, Arabic 2. I went on to a different one. Universe. So this is how it is. Start again. Masr. So it's using building vocab.
Lebanon.
Looking at countries here. Lebanon. And then, so it's given us 2 countries, Lebanon and Masr. And then it has the Arabic here. Now obviously your level has to be a bit advanced, just in case you can't read the Arabic. So it says Egypt in English. I need to find Masr. Masr. Moving on to the next one. Lebanon. Syria. So it gives me the country.
Syria.
And again, this is only level 2. So you would work, so level 1 is about letters and sounds, and then level 2 is introducing more words. So Masr, it's given me the Arabic. I need to find the English.
مصر.
Syria.
مصر.
And then it's just given me the word Masr, and I need to identify it in Arabic. And then here, I need to tap on these 3 sound icons.
طريق. سوريا.
Syria, I'm looking for. So it's Syria, this one.
سوريا.
And that's the correct one. And I press correct, and it allows me to move on. I really like this one, especially for children, because it's very interactive. They get to hear sounds, they get to look at the words, and it's a really good level to work towards, just to bring in a bit of Arabic as well. And that's it. So there's some of the apps that I use. Inshallah, I'll put the links below. I hope you found this useful, and ultimately just take it easy during this very unusual time that we're going through in the UK. Really use it as a time to bond with your child and to be part of their learning as well, inshallah. I make dua that Allah Ta'ala protects us all and inshallah keeps us safe while we're at home during this phase. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.